Hello everyone, I'm going to be talking about the curriculum, and I'm going to be talking about also the foundations and the types of curricula that there are. Okay, so I'm going to do this with the help of this plant, because I see it as a plant, the curriculum. Okay, so the first thing I need you to understand is that the curriculum is not a rigid thing. So see, it's not a rigid thing, because it can be suitable for changes. That is to say, for example, let's say that this is a curriculum, and this is one teacher, this is another teacher, or administrator stuff. So, for example, they can change based on people's experiences or maybe internal and external circumstances as well as institutions. So, it will be changing constantly. So that's why we say that you can't really study in depth a single one because it's going to be changing. Anyway, another thing that I would like to discuss is about that in our country the curriculum takes a more political posture, and this is because the Ministry of Education is the one responsible for giving you a document, or let's say a book where the curriculum is implemented, and the teacher are fully responsible for implementing and teaching this with an outcome, or let's say with a goal to achieve. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about more of the Posner, let's say Posner definitions. Okay, so Posner suggests 7 definitions. So as you can see here, for example, here we have the textbook, we have content outlined, we have syllabus, we have course of study, we have planned experience in the standards, and a scope and sequence, okay? So now, since there is not a single definition, let's say, for the curriculum, all of these other are the ones that are going to be helping to shape the curriculum definition, as if you want to call it definition. Okay, so moving along, I would like to talk about the types of curriculum. For this, I have just little notes here. Okay, so the first one is the official one. Okay, so you can see here is the official one. I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so the official one is more based on literally a written document, okay, which has the strategies, the objectives, okay? It has everything that you or as a teacher may need or need to have in order to teach. Anyway, the next one is called the operational one, okay? Here we have the operational one. I'm going to put it right here, okay? The operational one is more of what you teach as a teacher, okay? So this is very special for me because it's like your mark, like what you leave in your students in order for them to teach. For example, every teacher is different, so that's why it is different. Like, like this type of curriculum. Moving along, we have the hidden curriculum, okay? I want to put something like this, so it's like hidden. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna put it right here. So the hidden curriculum is, let's say, the permissions and values that are within the surroundings of the, let's say, of the school, the teaching environment. And for example, these are things that are not taught, in the classroom. Okay, so it's not necessarily in a curriculum. Next, we have the null curriculum. Okay, the null curriculum. You can represent it like this with this little face in here, like, because it's like unexistential, almost, I would say. Okay, so the null curriculum, it tells us about like what is not taught, what is not taught in the classroom, but should be taught in the classroom. Because, for example, you as a teacher would like to teach them about some sort of things, but you can't because it's not in the curriculum. But either way, they're going to be learning. And finally, we've got the extracurriculum. This is a very little piece of paper, like the extracurriculum. I'm going to put it right here. The extracurriculum, okay? So the extracurriculum is basically the things that are planned outside the classroom, okay? And this is kind of like, it was kind of weird for me at first because you can't really check if the students have gained or have achieved the thing that you want them to teach them, or rather to say the things that you want to be taught as a student, okay? So for example, the compassion, how can you teach compassion if not just with the example of you? As for the foundations of the curriculum, There are four, okay? So there is a historical one, there is a psychological one, and there is a philosophical one, and also the social one, okay? Let's think of the foundations are as the soil of the plant, okay? Because you need something that can hold your plant, as well as you need something that needs to hold the curriculum, like the beliefs or the processes. I'm going to explain each one now. Okay, so let's start with the philosophical one. The philosophical one means that this is mainly like the ways of thinking, like in order to teach. Okay, so like for example, there are a specific, like in philosophy, there are specific ways to think. For example, I really like, and I think all of us can agree that the reconstructionist is our favorite one. I mean, at least it's mine because it's based on reconstructing basically the teaching process, okay, because it's constantly changing, and as well as us as teachers and students are going to be changing all the time, so it's not a rigid thing, as I said before. Now, moving along, we have the historical one. So the historical one means basically that the education changed in one moment in the past, is changing now, and it will change in the future. So it tells us like literally the step by step of the things, or rather to say like the teaching strategies or the teaching process that is constantly changing, as well as us as agents, okay? So the next one we have the psychological one. Yes, the psychological one. The psychological one is about the theories, for example, the behaviorism, the connectivism that can be taught, or that can be taught through teaching. Okay. But as our teacher said in the class, like you need to be careful, because if you teach with the behaviorism, let's say tools, behaviorism tools, they can be traumatized if applied wrong. Anyway, the last one is the social one. I really like this one because it basically tells about that we are social people. We are social animals, as the science says, and we have to be recognized as just agents, because we're teachers. We're just agents of the change, and the school is the changing aspect, I would say, or the changing tool for them to have a different outcome in within themselves. So that was it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.